This is a video lesson for Broken Stones by Paul Weller. Now this is an acoustic version that you can find on an album called At the BBC 4-volume set. That's the name of the album. And the full title of the song is Broken Stones, Simon Mayo, and then it's got some dates, recorded 31st of the 8th, 95, transmitted. So it's quite a long title on the album. It's quite a nice version to play because it's just acoustic guitar. Normally he plays this with an electric guitar. Some nice chords in there as well, and it's quite a good rhythm guitar part. Now, the first thing you need to be able to do is play the G chord with a little added finger. Now, you might be used to playing G in a couple of different ways. You might play it with your first and second finger, like that, on the bottom two strings. Or you might play it with your third and second. To be able to play this riff like he does in the song, with the finger added on, like that, you've got to play it with your first and your second finger on the bottom two strings. Ideally, you also should have your third finger on the high E string. You might sometimes use your little finger to do that, but the third finger makes it easier to add the note on and off. So your G chord is just, these are the frets. By the way, you've got your capo on your third fret to play along to this song. You need to have your third frets, second frets, then 3 open strings, then your third finger, but you can use your fourth, third is best, on the top string. So that's the main G chord you're going to play in the song. Now to play the classic riff, which I've just demonstrated, get your little finger and put it onto the 5th fret on the E string. Try and leave your third finger on the E string. It's great if you can do that. It makes it a bit smoother when you change chords. If you take it off, you might get the open E string to ring like that. So try and leave that third finger on. Another little thing, if you've got quite small hands or you're finding it really hard to reach that little finger up to the 5th fret, make sure that your thumb is on the middle of the neck, on the back, like that. If you wrap your thumb around like this, it's just going to be even harder to reach that little finger up. And then finally, when you add your little finger on, you don't really need to leave your first finger on the A string. You can take it off, like that. Alright, when you do that, you should ideally mute your A string, like that. It is possible to do it with your first finger left on, and that's the easiest way to do it. So the best way to play this chord change is G with second, first and third fingers, and then to leave everything on, but add your little finger onto the top string. First of all, we're going to look at a couple of exercises that are going to get you playing along to verses, chorus, basically the whole song. Once you can play exercise 1 and 2, you can use the lyrics and chord sheet to play the main strumming pattern throughout the whole song. On your tab, that's called Rhythm 1. Once you can play that strumming pattern, you can play it throughout the whole song. Your first task is to play exercise 1. This is verse 1, played at 80 beats per minute. Once you can do this, try exercise 2, which is slightly faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you've managed to play along to exercise 1, now we're going to try exercise 2, which is the same rhythm guitar part but played faster at 100 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we've got exercise 3, which is the fill he sometimes plays. Have a look on the lyrics sheet to see when you can do this. You can also ad-lib it, or that means play it whenever you want during the verses and choruses, anytime you go back to a G for the main rhythm. You can play it after you add your little finger on. First of all, we're going to play it at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. So don't forget, you only need to be able to play that fill once in the song, but practicing it 4 times, repeating it like that, is a really good way to make sure that you're comfortable with it. Now we're going to play the fill at 100 beats per minute. You should use your metronome in the meantime, because you'll probably find it difficult to go from 80 to 100 beats per minute, so maybe practice somewhere in the middle before you try this. 1, 2, 3, 4.